Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the newly released Transformers Studio Series 86-24 Junkion Scrapheap, one of the first figures released in this year as of 2024, and I'm just saying 2024 is gonna be a banger. Now this figure is actually the last Junkion that we've seen. It's a remold of Wreck-Gar and Scrapheap, and actually is one of the various Junkions that appear in that 1986 film. And I really hope they keep making more of these. And there are some things about this mold that I like, dislike, and I absolutely love. I got this figure at GameStop for 35 bucks, and it was pretty cool. And the boxes at GameStop, they're in mint condition and they aren't damaged at all. So without further ado, let's crack this guy out of the box and see what awaits us inside. Now, before we touch base on the figure itself, I did want to show you the artwork on the box. It looks really nice. We get this brand new CGI image of Scrapheap, and then when we tilt to the side of the box, we have this nice render, a close up of his face, 8624. Now, this is the actual 8624, not the dead slash broken version of Ironhide, except it is now Scrapheap. He transforms in 24 steps, similar to Junkiep and Wreck-Gar. The Junkion dance party, Scrapheap and the Junkions ambush the crash-landed Autobots. So in that scene of the film, they ambush the Autobots singing that they're a threat and then realize they have to work together to stop Unicron. And then right here we get a nice black background right here, and then we get a nice CG render right here. In the top of the box, we get Transformers the movie. At the bottom of the box, I got it at GameStop, so you basically can see the price. I got it for $34, $35.99. $35, $34.99, and with tax, $37. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Now his backdrop is very similar to Wreck-Gar and Junkiep's. In fact, it's the same one, and I think every Junkion after this is probably going to get the same background. But this figure actually looks so cool in this background. I intend to display this guy on his background, or intend to display all the Junkions together with this background, and it'll still look really cool. Now, here in all his glory, here we have Scrapheap. Now, Scrapheap being one of the Junkions, being the same mold as those original ones, I think that they've done an even better job at this mold. I think that the transformation runs a little bit more smooth. It feels nicer, and the color, I really like the color. I do like the yellows, gray, and orange, how it looks, and it looks really cool. He does come with 3 accessories. He has the 2 wheels that the previous Junkions came with, which can spin. Once you hold them like this, they could spin around all you want, and you could place them however you want on this figure. And finally, we get a blaster that was really needed for the original figures, and we finally got it for this one. It's such a shame that we only got it for this one and not the previous ones, when all of them should be having a blaster. So you could just incorporate that right there on his hands, and the same could be said for these ones. You could just put them off to the side, or you could attach them either on the arms or the legs. Now, as far as articulation goes for this figure is fairly articulated. He could look up, down, tilt the head very slight side to side, could do a full 360, has a mushroom peg on the arm, so that could do a full 360, has a hinge joint at the arm, could bend around 90 degrees, has a hinge joint at the elbow, bend 90 degrees, has wrist rotation, so I really do like that, and has 360 bicep rotation. Same can be said for this arm as well. Right here we have waist rotation, so that is pretty nice. We have a hinge joint at the leg, so he can go up and back. But the wheel's kind of restricting it. Once I take it off, it'll have more articulation. He has a thigh rotation. He has knee bend at the knee, which could bend around 90 degrees. He has ankle joints, which I do like how this is actually it looks complete, and you could pose him around and he looks complete, unlike the other previous figures that like Hound and what's his name, Huffer. Those figures looked incomplete, whereas this one does look complete. He does have two work boxes right here, which really look nice. And this figure is actually really well articulated, and even has a foot joint as well. So this figure has a lot of articulation. Now, as far as details go for this figure is packed with details. Just taking a look at the chest region, we have some nice details right here, some nice sculpt work. Obviously, this was obviously an animation character, and we never really got to see him in depth. But to see if he was like a 3D model, this is probably how he would look like, and he looks really nice. If we take a look at the side of the figure right here, for the toolbox right here, we have a nice amount of sculpt work and detail right here. On the shin and the knee area, we have this nice metallic goldish yellow painted right here. And for articulation, I forgot to mention that this thing is also on like a small ratchet joint similar to Rekgar and Junkheap. And as well as right here, we can see some details. Right here, we have some nice pipe details, some panel detail. Look really nice. It just resembles like a bunch of pieces of mechanical parts and junk put together to form this giant robot. Oh, and also another point of articulation is right here at the horns. They do look nice. And at the back of the head, he does have the speedometer and the little thing that measures the speed and RPM of a car slash motorcycle. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The wheels actually are the same sculpt, so you aren't getting anything new. The only new thing is the blaster, like said previously. I do like these pokey things right here. They do look pretty cool, and they're not even that sharp, so you could like, well, if you hit it hard, it'll hurt. But right here on the back, we can see some nice details around the rear end region. We can see the headlights right here, which will touch base when he's in his motorcycle form. And then right here is just plain. And then right here we could probably see the letters as well, and everything's. Oh, and there's also some panels right here. So yeah, this figure has a lot of details, and it looks really nice. Is even the smokestacks popping out of his shoulders look really nice. Makes these Junkions look more diverse to each other than than just looking generic. For some comparisons, I wanted to start off with our Earthrise slash Kingdom Optimus Prime, the previously 86 slash 24 Ironhide, which got replaced by this one, so I think that's pretty cool. The Studio Series figure that came right before this one, 86 Ratchet, 86 Grimlock, which in dinosaur mode is around near the same size, even though this is like 6-7 inches and this is like 8 inches. So we could see that there is kind of a size difference, and also I think the paintwork on both of these figures represents how well Hasbro has been putting their money into these 86 figures. And here we have the three main Junkions all together in the Studio Series line. Here we have Rekgar, Junkheap, and Scrapheap. The main difference between Scrapheap from the rest of the Junkions is the mostly the legs are practically the same, except that there is new sculpt around the knee. The toolbox and the waist are the same. There's new sculpt around the chest. So in this one, he had the nipple blasters. Right here, he's just plain. Right here, he had a bulky chest with more motorcycle detail. This one is more simplified, whereas this one is nostalgic. Obviously, the head sculpts are very diverse and different. They do have similarities due to the fact that they both have horns, and then right here at the top of the head, they all have this nice shade of blue plastic that looks like a windshield. And at the back of these figures as well, they do have multiple similarities due to the fact that they all transform into the same type of vehicle. Only difference is that they all have different types of vehicle. What's it called? Vehicle alternate forms. So yeah, even though it's all the same, they look pretty cool. And you could tell that these are individual characters and not just lazy remolds, and they are pretty good. Here we have Trash Master next to Scrapheap, which I still need a review on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And here we have Detritus or Detrius, however you prefer to say it. I'm not so sure how you say it. But the 86 Hound mold compared next to this figure actually looks really, really nice. And here we have a all blown Junkion group shot. Honestly, I just need two characters being Scrap. I mean, yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what the name was. I think it was Scrap Hook, and then the other one was Junk something. But I just need two more figures, one in here, and then the Junkions will be complete. And if Studio Series releases any more of this same mold, I'll probably add to the back, which are very, very individual. A lot of Junkions in that 86 movie that this could open an entire Pandora's box of just this mold repainted and resculpted into Junkions, and they could even add new molds if they want as well. So Junkions are honestly, this shelf is honestly going to grow really, really large within the few years. Now this figure, like many others, is Blast Effects compatible, so you could apply any Blast Effects that you have that have that little, I think, 3mm port probably, and then you could pose it around. There are multiple little ports right here. You could even include one that he looks like he got his leg blasted off. It looks pretty cool. Now transformation is going to be quite simple, similar to Junk Heap slash Junkyard and Rekgar. The first thing you're going to have to do, if you haven't done so already, is remove all the accessories. Remove them all. them off to the side. So the first step you're going to have to do is straighten out this figure, make sure everything is going to be ready for the transformation. First step right here is go to the back, take this back region off, take it down like this, then fold the shoulders outward like this. Once you have done that, you're gonna reveal this new panel. So yeah, this is a new addition to the Junkion. It's like this new sculpt work that wasn't present with the previous ones. So yeah, I do like that they're spicing this up, and then it's gonna reveal an even smaller panel right here. After that, you are going to put your attention toward the chest region, unattach it from this piece, which I really thought was clever engineering. They are in fact going a different direction with this. I'm gonna disconnect this now that you have this. Now turn your attention toward the head right here. The first thing you're gonna have to do is put the horns back as far as you can, so that we could get this look that he could just fit in and squeeze inside there. Right here, you're going to have to move this backwards like so, and put your attention toward this piece right here, and then just simply put it inside this hole right here like this, and we can already see how the vehicle mode is already forming at the front. So then after that, once you have done that, you are going to put your attention toward the waist, the ab crunch region, which I forgot to mention, which is a really nice attention to detail, not present in any multiple figures. You are going to rotate the arms to, you are going to tuck in the hands like this, then rotate them so they look like this. I'm sorry, another way. Yeah, like this. You rotate them like this. I'm merely looking off the instructions just to let you know. The instructions do transform this guy different from how we transformed the previous figures. So I will show the instructions in just a bit. So you rotate those things, and you're gonna rotate this region right here, for the spikes to show up. Then you are going to turn your attention toward the front. You are going to rotate this entire region like so. Rotate it like this. Now that we have that done, these pieces are merely just going to fall inside here. They are just going to fall inside, and then they are going to tab into these little tabs right here. Just going to push these in right there. Push that in right there. That one as well. This one for some reason doesn't want to tab in. And unfortunately for my copy, there are slight stress marks right here, so that is unfortunate. So you're just going to tap this in right here. And I want to be careful around this figure because it does have brown plastic, and brown plastic is prone to break easier than other plastics. Hence, Lego figures and Lego pieces, the brown plastic always fakes. So the same could apply here. So yeah, I might have done something slightly wrong right here. Maybe I have to just put it in again. Okay, but anyways, this is as far as it could go. Let's reconnect that right there. Right there. So once we have done that, you're going to attach the wheel on both sides right here. So you're going to attach it right here and attach it right there. Once we have this nice front section already finished, we're going to now focus more on the back region. But this piece does not want to tab. This piece doesn't want to tab in for some reason, so we are just simply going to just leave it like that. So right now, I did fix this region right now. I did unhinge this piece right here and then put it back in, and so that we could put this correctly. Unfortunately, it wasn't working earlier, but now it does. The next step you're going to have to do, according to the instructions, is lift this piece like this. Or, yeah, you lift this piece slightly like this for some reason. And then you are going to put your attention toward the back of the legs, which is kind of peculiar why you're going to lift this first. You're going to put your attention toward the back of the legs, fold them like this, similar to red cars, and then fold in the feet. And then after that, you are going to fold them this way. Unfortunately, not like the other ones where you have to literally break red cars' legs. This time you are going to fold it like this, and then you are going to rotate you're going to rotate this region right here, then unfold it like this, similar to the previous figures, like this, and then fold it like that. For some reason, the instructions do make it very unclear how to transform this guy. Okay, now saying the mistake, I did notice that you're supposed to rotate this. I thought of it as well. So just put the feet down, and then you are going to put this forward like this, and then this tab, where is it? This tab is gonna poke inside here. Like they're just gonna sit down right here, and then right before you do that, just put the wheel in right here, similar to Rekgar and Junkeep. So they do have similarities in transformation. You are going to put this in right there. Once you have that connected and you have this connected, the bike mode is basically almost finished. And then after that, the last step is just to rotate this around, and then just attach this onto these slots right here, right there, and right there. So yeah, unfortunately for some reason this figure's transformation is incredibly hard to do. Not hard, but like, it's simple, but it's kind of frustrating, the mechanics on this figure. And you're just gonna have to reattach pieces, deattach pieces. So yeah, obviously this figure is honestly really cool, and I think that this is a really nice job at this bike mode. I finally transformed him, and as far as weapon storage goes, you could attach him on any of the pieces right here. And there we have what's his name, Scrapheap, fully transformed into his bike mode. Honestly, it looks pretty cool, and you're noticing that it's wobbling to the side. Not to worry, per Junkion they do have this little thing at the bottom that does in fact have right here, so that he won't wobble, and it's just like a placeholder right here. And here we have the three Junkions fully transformed into their bike modes. Honestly, it's kind of difficult transforming them, but it was all worth it because these Junkions together, they all look really cool. Honestly, preferably, which is my favorite one, I'd say this one because he is a new sculpt, no borrowed features except for the legs and maybe the back region. However, he doesn't have this region, and I do like the new transformation slightly. Unfortunately, it was kind of difficult, but I did realize I did have to push in some pieces more. I did have to focus more on different parts as well. As far as scale, they are all in scale with one another. So just to give you a demonstration, they're around the same size. So there's no difference. Perhaps this one is slightly shorter due to the fact he's not having this windshield piece, but I still prefer how this one looks like. Honestly, he looks more like a dirt bike, and these ones look more like a street bike. So yeah, it's pretty cool. If you wanted to, you could untransform one of these or another figure and just have them in your collection, riding on this guy, and it would still look pretty cool. Now, some final thoughts for the Transformers Studio Series Scrap Heap. Honestly, this is a must-have figure if you want to complete your 1986 collection and if you want to complete your Junkion collection. This figure has a lot of articulation. The details are really nice, as well as the transformation is extremely different from the original. It borrows some components around the leg regions and the shoulder transformation. However, it is an entirely different sculpt. There are some add-ons to this figure that weren't present with the original Rekgar figure. And honestly, this figure is actually the superiorest version we have of a Junkion up to date in the Studio Series Voyager line. This figure contains finally a blaster accessory that wasn't present with the previous ones that should have been present, and I'm so glad it did, and as well as the paint does look really nice. Now, without further ado, this ends our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please tell me what you liked about this figure. Are you gonna pick him up? You could find him at GameStop. I found mine at GameStop. You could probably find yours at Walmart and Target. Target maybe. Walmart definitely. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.